with the enemy, and you don't even know it. Many times we get in these relationships with individuals, and we're engulfed into their thought, into their words, and the things that they say, the way that they present themselves, and how they carry themselves when we first meet them, and we get enamored and we get captured and captivated by their words. But many times their words are words of untruth and not words of facts and words of things that they can actually perform and do. One of the things that I want to share with you real quick is that when you're sleeping with an enemy, and you won't know it immediately because these people they're so highly deceptive and manipulative that they will do things behind your back for years. And because of you trusting them and believing what they're saying and loving them, and then also not really looking at what you're seeing. Maybe you're seeing certain behavior, you're noticing certain things, but because of that mindset and because of that thought process of maybe wanting to think good of people and maybe not believing that the person has the capability of doing certain things, you're going to discard that thought, because you're not going to want to think that your person or that person that's telling you how great you are and how much they love you and how handsome or beautiful you are and how they don't want anybody else but you, and that you're the only person that if you ever pass, that there's no other person on this earth that they would ever want besides you. And, just all of the things that people say when they're in these, romantic thrillers, because that's basically what they are, because all of this is basically a movie. And so through this process, one of the things that you'll learn is that the people, and sometimes the people that are in this energy of being manipulative or narcissists or whatever you want to call it, because I don't really like diagnosing people. But the problem with is that you're meeting people that are full grown adults. They're 40, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old when you meet them, and you might start dating them and you're talking to them and you're kind of getting to know them. But part of what these individuals have learned from an early on, as a youth, is that they learned how to navigate life from a place of not actually ever showing and revealing who they actually are. So they're not going to be people that can actually tell you the truth. They can tell you half truths and partial truths, but they're not going to be able to tell you the actual truth. And so part of the problem is that, when you look back to their history and where they came from, a lot of times there were things there were traumatic events or tragic events that took place in this individual's, family or household when they were very, very young. And so because of it, at the age of 7, 8, 10, 12, this young person made certain decisions. And part of those decisions they learned was they created this alternate ego or this alternate person of who they are. So when you meet them and they've been in this energy, this behavior for 20 years, 30 years, whatever amount of years it's been, you're not actually meeting that person. And part of the problem is because the person they've never learned how to be who they are as an individual. They learned how to assimilate and become like whoever they were around. So they never learned what it was to be authentic, how to be, someone that's truthful, someone that was honest, someone that was open. And so you're opening up your heart to them and you're sharing with them and you're giving them everything and you're telling them all about yourself and you're opening up to them. And so what happens over a period of time is that individual starts using the information that you gave them against you, which shows you that's one of the keys. And I'm giving you these keys so that you can see and that you understand, because one of the main keys I want to share with you is that as you're meeting new people, and if you're considering dating them, especially if you've gone through some type of a traumatic relationship, is that you want to take your time. Someone that's rushing you to get through, oh, I want to get married, I want to do, if they're rushing you, they are the wrong person. If they're rushing you, that is a major flag. And it's not a green flag, it's a major red flag. Because anybody that has any wisdom or any common sense should be taking things at a gradual pace and going through the process of actually getting to know this individual. Because it's easy for people to pretend to be something. It's easy to pretend to be something. But over a period of time, as you're spending time with them, as you're getting out and you're out in public, you're going to see pop outs. And those pop outs will be behaviors. If she's a woman and she's in that energy of being a narcissist or being very manipulative, and a man, you're going to see certain behaviors, how they act around other people. They might be flirtatious. They might be somebody that's always up in other men's faces or women's faces, and they're doing little seductive things. And they're just doing, you're going to notice behaviors. And this is why watching, being observant, seeing what you're seeing, not pushing it aside that, oh, no. Yeah. See what you're seeing, but see what you're seeing, not to, be accusatory, but see what you're seeing, because you need to make an intelligent decision about this individual before you end up sleeping with the enemy and then having supposedly a relationship with the enemy and then having a long-term relationship with the enemy. Because if you have a long-term relationship with an enemy, that enemy will be doing things behind your back and you won't know about and find out about it too many years later, because they are perfectionists at being manipulative and deceptive. And if you're an honest person, in your mind, you're not going to be able to conceptualize the fact of someone being able to do that, that stands there and looks you dead in your face and says, "Oh, I love you. You're the only person I want. I would never, ever marry. If something happened to you," because they had this speech that they prepared, because it's all part of the Oscar winning performance. And so at some point, we have to make decisions, not just based upon our sacral chakra, or your groin, for those that might not understand. But we have to make decisions based upon them being good quality decisions, based upon meeting good quality people, and then making good quality decisions that are going to be something that's beneficial for us in our lives. That's my thought for you for today. This is Arnold Lawson. Like I always say, I believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself.